We've now met three different forms in which we can write the equation of a line. Namely, we've met the standard form, which looks like ax plus by equals c. We've met the point-slope form, which looks like y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And we've met the slope-intercept form, which looks like y equals mx plus b. Why do we have all these forms of lines? Well, because sometimes one is easier to work with than another. Which ones are easier to work with? The standard form is easier to work with when we're interested in the x and y intercepts. The point-slope form is the easiest form to write down. Any point and the slope, or any 2 points, is enough information to just write down the point-slope form. The slope-intercept form, it turns out, is easiest to generate points for. The slope-intercept form also has the advantage that it's solved for y. That is, that we can graph it on a calculator. Alright, so as you can see, there are different times when we might want each of these forms. How do we go from one to the other? The method for getting standard form we saw previously. We had that 4-step process. To get the slope-intercept form, we just solve for y. The point-slope form, well, we never convert to the point-slope form. I mean, we could by coming up with a point on the line, but usually we use the point-slope form because it's the one we have. So let's see an example where we might want to convert between different forms of lines. Let's say we want to give the equation through the points 5, 4 and 2, -2 in each of our three forms. The easiest form to write down is the point-slope form, so we're going to do that one first. To write down the point-slope form, we find the slope and pick a point. So we'll start by finding the slope. The slope is the change in y, so -2 minus 4, over the change in x, 2 minus 5. -2 minus 4, that's -6. 2 minus 5, that's -3. -6 over -3 is +2. I'm going to choose this point to write down the point-slope form. I'll just have y minus 4 equals 2 times x minus 5. And that's it. That's my point-slope form. To get the slope-intercept form, I'll take my point-slope form and I'll solve for y. First I'll simplify on the right-hand side by distributing. Y minus 4 is 2x minus 10. Then I'll add 4 to both sides, and I'll get y equals 2x minus 6. There's my slope-intercept form. Finally, to get standard form, I'll take my slope-intercept form and I'll follow the steps to get standard form. I'm not following rule 1. I have variables on the right, so I need to get rid of that 2x term. I'll subtract 2x on both sides, and I'll get negative 2x plus y equals negative 6. Now I'm following the first rule but not the second. My x term is negative. I'll multiply both sides by negative 1. Distribute on the left. I get 2x plus negative y equals positive 6. Okay, now I'm following rule 1. I'm following rule 2, everything's a whole number. I'm following rule 3, the coefficient of x is positive. And I'm following rule 4, because the coefficient of y is just a negative 1. That hasn't got any interesting factors. As my last step, I might write 2x minus y instead of plus negative y equals 6. And there's my standard form. Standard form, slope-intercept form, and point-slope form. There we go.